Okay, welcome back to Mez Plays Bloodborne. I gotta do this shit. I gotta enter the mind of this dead body. Touch the corpse. Touch it. Here we are, the lecture building. Oh, we've been here before. Yeah, we have. We've been here before. So I wanted to address a comment from someone named Adam Graff. If you're watching this, Adam, hello, and thanks for your comment. He requested that I talk more about Cowboy Bebop. Because I love Cowboy Bebop so much, and, I mean, I love it so much that I got a tattoo of it. It's permanently on my body forever. So, I don't really know where to begin, because I didn't prep anything, but I love Cowboy Bebop. It's one of those things where, when people say they don't like Cowboy Bebop, I'm just like, how's that, fuck. I'm just like, how's that possible? Like, how do you not like Cowboy Bebop? It's just, like, so awesome. It's so likable. You must be insane if you don't like Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop is, like, the epitome of cool. I mean, you got a show about space cowboys who hunt down bounties, and the soundtrack is all jazz. And the band... Okay, so, Yoko... I think her name is Yoko Ono. So I don't sound like an idiot, let me look at that up. Yoko Kanno. That's her name, Yoko Kanno. Yoko Kanno. Yoko Ono's the one that squeals. I think. But yeah, Yoko Kanno made the soundtrack for Cowboy Bebop. A woman... A very pretty Asian woman. She's beautiful. And she's cool as hell. And in that one video where they're doing, Tank, the main theme, they're doing it live, she's wearing, like, a long red leather trench coat. She's so fucking cool. But anyway, so she did the soundtrack, but in order to release the soundtrack as an album, she made a band for it called the Seatbelts. And it's just the coolest fucking shit. Cowboy Bebop is the coolest thing ever. And Spike Spiegel is, like, one of the most iconic fucking characters ever. He's so suave and just cool, and he's like Bruce Lee, but, oh my god. He's just, like, the coolest guy ever. Like, I don't cosplay, right? I want to cosplay. I want to get into it, but, I mean, it's so fucking hard. But, 2 years ago, last year, I went to RTX in Austin, and I cosplayed as Cowboy Bebop, and I look pretty fucking good. I grew my hair out so I could look like Spike Spiegel. For those of you who don't know, my natural hair color is not black, I dye it black. I dyed it black once because I was bored with my friend, and we were like, let's just dye our fucking hair black, why not? So I did. And it was one of those things where after I dyed it black, I was like, oh my god, this is like the real me. My hair should be black all the time. It just felt so natural having black hair. So I grew it out so I could look like so I could look like Spike Spiegel. It's fucking cool. I love Cowboy Bebop. My favorite episodes are, my favorite episode is, I forget what it's called. It's been a little bit since I've seen it. I think it's called, Pierre LeFou, and it's about that psychotic clown. I love that, episode. It's so, like, noir style, and it's actually kind of, like, eerie, and it's one of the few, characters in the show that gives Spike a hard time, because he's, like, this fucking badass, and he can do whatever the fuck he wants. He's, like, nobody can beat him in a fight. He's just so quick, he's so cool, he's like Bruce Lee, but then this random fucking, like, psychic clown just whips his ass, and he's like, no, I can't go down like that, I must get him back, and he fucking, just, like, fucking... Oh god, I love that episode so much. I also love, Mushroom Samba, because I like how everyone's just tripping out, and it's just Edward trying to get, food for her friends. And then she gets caught up in that weird, like, I forget what that... What's that genre called? With the afros, like Black Dynamite? Like that genre, whatever it's called. Like... And you have those two characters, like, freaking out over each other. is so fucking awesome, and I loved it. And the end when the cow talks to Ein, that was funny. I also love the, I forget what it's called, but I love the one that's a tribute to Alien, where it has that like weird parasite thing, like in the ship, and it's just biting everybody. One sec. But yeah, Cowboy Bebop is just fucking cool. And the end of the show where, spoilers, when Spike fucking dies and he's just like, bang, and he fucking just goes down. Oh god, it's everything about it is just the epitome of cool. You can't beat it. You can't get cooler than Cowboy Bebop. I wish I could give like a more detailed response on why I love it so much, but it's one of those things where it's like just the way it's shot and the tone and the vibe from it and how just like casual it is and how everything is just like, I want to say everything's just so jazzy. It's just like,
indeed, I share you should appreciate.
He gives me something.
No matter, such.
There you go. That's what I wanted. That's Patches, by the way. He pushes you off the cliff in the Nightmare Frontier. But yeah, Cowboy Bebop really inspired me with my films in terms of like lighting and cinematography, and there's a lot of good composition in the shots from like a technical standpoint, like all that shit. This is like a very big inspiration for me personally, in terms of like creativeness and making stuff like that. And I also like how each episode is like an anthology, minus the couple that focus on Spike and Vicious. And his fucking name's Vicious. Like, what the fuck? Cowboy Bebop is the only show that can make that can name a character Vicious, the edgiest thing ever, and have it not be cringeworthy. So, yeah, Adam, if you're listening, leave a comment and tell me what you love so much about Cowboy Bebop. I really would love to know. Oh, another thing I want to talk about. So much has, like, gone down in the past, like, month. I saw Avengers Infinity War. And I'm going to talk about spoilers with that because that's been out for quite a bit. And if you haven't seen it, I mean, like, why haven't you seen it yet? It's, like, the biggest movie out right now, ever. If you like Marvel Comics, go fucking see it. But Infinity War was great. I saw it twice. And it was one of those movies where... The reason why I saw it twice is because it was one of those movies where after the first time I saw it, like... I couldn't stop thinking about it. It was just on my mind. Because the ending is so brutal, and it doesn't pull any punches, and I have so much respect for it for that. So after the ending, I was like, oh my god, that movie was so, like, wow. Like, I was blown away. Like, the fact that they took 10 years worth of lore, essentially, and put it into one movie with, like, 60 fucking main characters, and the fact that the movie didn't suck... The fact, not only was it great, but the fact that it just wasn't awful is a fucking testament in of its own. Like, it's incredible. I hate these snake things. Fuck. There you go. Double prizes. But, yeah, so, Infinity War was great, and my favorite characters in Infinity War were, like, the standouts, obviously, were, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, holy shit. Doctor Strange kicked so much ass in that movie. Like, he was doing the magic I wanted to see in the Doctor Strange movie. Like, I'm all for, like, the cool little circles and, like, those, like, mystical shields that he makes, but I wanted him to, like, turn shit into butterflies and to, like... What the hell? I just, like, coughed up a hair. Ew. But, like, in Doctor Strange standalone film, I wanted him to, like, create a wall of, like, reality and throw it at somebody like he does in the movie. I wanted him to fucking, like, make, like, unbreakable ribbons come out of nowhere and grab somebody. I wanted him to like really incorporate the cloak of levitation, like he does in the movie, where like when they're fighting Thanos on Titan, and he whispers to the cloak, he's like, make sure he doesn't close his fist, and then the cloak goes over and fucking just wraps around Thanos' hand so he can't close his fist. Like, that's so fucking cool. Like, it's just so awesome. And Spider-Man was awesome. And Iron Man, I think I'm repeating myself. I'm getting distracted because I'm forgetting where I have to go. But yeah, everything just made sense, and nothing. It wasn't hard to follow. In fact, it was really easy to follow, and that is impressive because, like I said, of like how much they had to go with. But it was also a very interesting movie in the sense that it doesn't explain anything really about the old films. Like like what I'm trying to say is, if you haven't, wow, that killed me. That seriously fucking killed me. Fucking spiked my ass into the fucking ground, bitch! Anyway, so what I was trying to say before I got rudely interrupted by murder is, Infinity War doesn't cater to people who haven't seen the other films. So it doesn't go into like huge backstories for every character and like tell you what happened in their movies. Like it starts off right when Thor Ragnarok ends. So, and that's the reason why the movie works, because it doesn't waste any time telling you pointless shit. Like, all the characters, the film just assumes you know who they are, you know, the film assumes that you're familiar with what happened to them and what happened in all the other movies, and it just goes, and it doesn't cater to anybody who shouldn't be seeing it, because let's be real now, I have heard from people, look at that giant spider, that's terrifying. I've heard, oh, I'm stuck in its leg! I've heard from people who haven't seen the old Avengers films or Marvel films and just went straight to Infinity War and they still enjoyed it, but obviously it's not recommended. It's, if you're gonna see,
oh my god, a spider kill me.
Obviously, if you're gonna see Infinity War, you should probably see the other films first. But Infinity War was great, and the ending, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't expect the ending, which I know sounds kind of silly, but the whole movie, you're kind of thinking that, I mean, what if that, like, Thanos, he's not gonna win, right? The bad guy in these movies never wins. And he fucking wins. Like, right when you think he lost, like when Thor throws his axe at him, and he's like, you should have aimed for the head, and he fucking snaps his fingers. I was like, oh, like, in the, like, sitting in the chairs in the theater, I think I actually gasped, like, audibly, and I was like, oh, like, did he actually do it? Did he actually fucking go through with it? Like, is this gonna be a weird fake out where it's like, oh, it didn't work? Because after he, snaps his fingers and everything turns white, and then he is talking to, young Gamora and Gamora, and she's like, so how much what did it cost? And he's like, it cost everything. And then it goes back to reality. The glove is destroyed. Like, the Infinity Gauntlet it's all fucked up. And, so I thought that, like, it didn't work because something went wrong and the glove didn't work. The glove broke, and I guess the glove really couldn't handle the power of the Infinity Stones. But I mean, but then when, the first time, like, the characters start to fade away, I think Bucky's the first one, where he's like, Steve, I feel weird, and then he just fades away into literally nothingness. He doesn't, it's like, he just dissipates into the air. It's such a fucking, I'm getting, like, goosebumps thinking about it again. Like, the fact that everybody just goes away, all these characters you love just fade away, and there's no music playing, and you know what's happening. Like, everybody's dying. Like, half the universe is dead. It's just, like, so, like, it just doesn't, fuck. It just doesn't, wow. He's gonna taunt like that, like a dick? Asshole. You did it twice? Fuck you, man. Anyway, so the movie doesn't pull any goddamn punches, and I thought that was so cool. Oh, and when Spider-Man dies, man, that was like, that made me want to fucking cry, where he's like, begging to stay alive, where he's like, no, please, I don't want to go, I don't want to go yet. And I was like, oh my god, Spider-Man. And it sucks too, because Spider-Man just came out, right? So, like, everybody falls in love with the new Peter Parker, everybody loves Tom Holland, like, and then he dies. Obviously they're not dead for good, because there's going to be an Infinity War Part 2, and it's going to have to go over something. Like, something is going to happen. But, I mean, the ending was so good. The ending was like... I listened to a podcast earlier today, and somebody described it as when they left the film, it was almost like they were walking away from a funeral. And that's what it felt like. Like, the credits felt like an obituary almost. Like, everybody dies, and then the screen just it just fades to black, and then there's no big bombastic, like, boom, and then the credits start. It's so quiet and somber, and it just gives the names of the actors, and it's so well done. It's like, I hate saying it like this because it sounds like I'm a fucking cocky prick, but watching the movie, it was like, at least in terms of the credits, or at least in terms of the way all the deaths were handled, like, after I finished it was like, damn, that's like that's like something I would do, like something really like dark and dreary, because all my films, if you see my short films, they're all dark and fucking messed up and end in someone dying with really like it's just a black screen with like the white like Times New Roman text. And so I watched it and I was like, holy shit, that's so fucking cool. Like, I wanna that was like my kind of ending. Look at that. That's so... Look at the brain. Wow, it's never... What's happening? It's never gone off for this long before. Anyway. So yeah, Avengers Infinity War was fucking ballin', and I want to see it again. And, let me know what you thought of the Avengers movie. Because I loved it. I also saw the new Deadpool film, and that was really good too. I loved the first Deadpool. And, this movie was also really good, but here's the thing, right? There's a difference. The first Deadpool is kind of like something that everybody can watch. If you don't know who Deadpool is, the film does a really good job of explaining Deadpool, like the whole breaking the fourth wall thing that he does. It's very accessible. Deadpool 2 is just like Deadpool 1, but it's more comic booky, if that makes any sense. Like, a lot of the jokes, and there's a lot more, like, Deadpool 1 has, like, pop culture references that, like, anybody would get. Wow! Are you fucking... That was cool! I'm not even mad about that! Wow! And I got a blood drink somehow! Whoa! That was awesome! Anyway, so... Deadpool 1 has a lot of pop culture references that everybody gets because it's like the pop culture of pop culture, like all these jokes everybody knows. Deadpool 2 has that, but it also has a lot of comic book jokes that if you don't know the Deadpool comics or X-Men comics, you won't get. Like, for example, I saw it with Mark, and he loved Deadpool 1, and he didn't love Deadpool 2. He liked it, but he didn't love it like he liked the first one. And I noticed while watching the films, a lot of the jokes I laughed at, he didn't laugh at because he didn't get them, because he didn't get the pop culture reference or the comic book reference. Like, one of the jokes that made me laugh is I'm familiar with Cable, mainly through Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And I am also familiar with the drama surrounding the Josh Brolin actor, who is not as tall as Cable. And in the movie, Deadpool is going over, like, a battle plan to show the X-Force who Cable is, and he's like, this is Cable. He's not as big as he is in the comics. And I thought that was funny and clever, because they addressed that, like, unnecessarily, like, dramatic situation with all the fans. And also with the Juggernaut, because Deadpool's like, oh my god, I love the Juggernaut, he's my favorite X-Men character, and I love the Juggernaut too. So when the Juggernaut came, I looked at Mark, I was like, oh my god, the fucking Juggernaut, and he looked at me like, who the fuck's the Juggernaut? So, it's a comic book movie more than Deadpool 2 is, if that makes any sense. Because Deadpool 1 is also a comic book film, but it doesn't act like one. Are you kidding me?!
At least I activated the elevator. At least I activated it.
But yeah, I also love Deadpool 2. So if you saw Deadpool 2, once again, let me know what you thought of it. I love to know. We can get into like a really big discussion in the comment section and talk about our opinions and whatnot. Because like I said from the very beginning of this series, what I want to do with my videos, the why Bloodborne is a masterpiece video, the 10 years of waiting for Final Fantasy videos, the Let's Play videos, I want to create like a discussion. I want to like talk to people about video games, because a lot of the friends, I used to have a group of friends that I would talk about video games with all the time, and we had a huge falling out, so I don't talk to them anymore. And the friends that remain, that I still have and I've had for a very long time, we don't really talk about games that much. And I want to talk about games, so like I can talk about games to myself on this, but it's way more fun talking about games with other people who also like games and who also know what I'm talking about. Like, for example, like my friend Tyler, shout out to Tyler Carmody, I love you, man, I love you, my baby boy. He likes to play video games, but he doesn't like follow them like I do. He doesn't watch like reviews for them. He doesn't, like, I don't pay attention to the news as much as I used to, but I mean, I'm still familiar and I'm still kind of like up to date with what's going on. But he doesn't really give a shit, and I don't blame him, because it's kind of stupid. But I like it. Like, for example, like the new Kingdom Hearts coming out. Like, I am ecstatic, but he doesn't like Kingdom Hearts, so he doesn't care, so I can't really talk to him about it. So, yeah, leave a fucking comment, boy. Letting me know what you think about, like, shit, you know, man? Anyway, this episode's getting a little bit long. Wow, what's happening to the camera? Oh, hey. Look at this elevator, it's so fucking cool. I'm gonna leave it at that, and, make sure you fucking like and subscribe, share this shit around. Show your friends, man. Like, show your friends my videos. If you think they're good, maybe they'll think they're good. Because I was thinking about sharing my Let's Play series on the Bloodborne subreddit, because like I said, I want to start discussion, but I don't want to get fucking crucified by doing any self-promotion. I know the Bloodborne subreddit is like a good and friendly community, but I don't want to like step over a fucking boundary. I don't know if that's like crossing the line. But anyway, yeah, like and subscribe, and I will see you later. Goodbye.